Very good afternoon to you and welcome to Borrowdale Park Racecourse. Today sees the running of the Breeders' Cup. It's the 10th of March 2024. We've got a 6-race program, and if you can get your race cards, and we'll go through the balance of the changes for today's meeting. Starting off in race 1, which is a maiden plate over 1260 meters, and off time for that is 12 o'clock. And take note of the scratching of horse number 3, Jump to Red. Morgan Yamagwete was scheduled to ride that one. And so that will leave us with 3 runners to take on the first event here at Borrowdale. Number 1 is the Work of Life with Kabelo Matsunyani. That's for Amy Poham. And the Work of Life has got a decent form line down in South Africa, and which should translate pretty well here at Borrowdale Park. So I think this is going to take some beating, the 1 Work of Life, especially with the exclusion of the 3 Jump to Red. 2 is Emma of Normandy. Caden Brewer will ride for Amy Poham. Blinkers on for the 2 Emma of Normandy. And there's a 3-year-old William Longswood filly. Has had 2 good runs in Zimbabwe. The first over 1600 meters, Morgan Yamagwete on board. Finished 3rd from Trust Me. And the second time out over 1200 meters, finished 5 lengths off New Galaxy. 1260 now the distance to this afternoon. I think the big challenger to the 1 Work of Life. Scratch the 3 Jump to Red. That will leave us with a 4 Silent Power, Nathan Klink for Bridget Steidolf, and has only had 1 outing, this 3-year-old Admiral Kitten filly. And 1200 meters the distance. Morgan Yamagwete rode it last time out. Nathan Klink jumps in the eye this afternoon, and I think could improve from that 4th place finish, 23 lengths off New Galaxy. Rest of the changes for this afternoon. Moving on to race 2, number 2 Aerial Display will race without blinkers. The 4 Duchess of War with Earmuffs on. And in race 3, the 2 Star Aglow with race with earmuffs on. And the 3 Ian's Ferrari also with earmuffs. Move on to race 4, number 1 Coffeeberry, Steel Shoes off, Alamites on. And the 2 Obscure without steel shoes again, and with Alamites. 5, race number 1 Bugatti Blue will race with earmuffs on. And that's the balance of the changes you will need this afternoon. Weather-wise, wind speed is 6 miles per hour in a south-southeasterly direction. Humidity is at 52%. And visibility is going to be very good this afternoon. There has been no rainfall in the past 24 hours, nor in the last 7 days. Oh, actually, they have had 10 mils of rain in the last 7 days. And the weather forecast for this afternoon is a very low chance of precipitation. Average penetrometer reading is at 20. The track condition is good. And the force rail is 4 meters from the 1300 mark to the spillway. Those are the card changes for the 10th of March. And first race is off at 12 o'clock. And that will be the maiden plate over 1260 meters. First one on today's program is a maiden plate over 1260 meters. Take note of the scratching of horse number 3, Jump to Red. Runners and riders now coming out in parade. First out is horse number 1, The Work of Life, with Cabello Mazzignani for Amy Parham. That's followed up by the 2, Emma of Normandy, Caden Brewer in the club colours all black. Last out is horse number 4, Silent Power, with Nathan Klenk. 3, Jump to Red is crashed, lame left 4. So just 3 runners making up the balance of the field for the opening encounter here at Borrowdale Park. 1260 is the distance. Off time is 12 o'clock.
runners for the first race on the program this afternoon, the maiden plate over 1260 meter marker, have arrived down at the start, and we should be set for a start in about 2 minutes. Just the 3 runners, of course, to take part in the opener here at Borrowdale Park. First leg of the pick 6, pick 3 closes at 13:45, and the jackpot at 1:10 and starters just gotten word to start loading them up, so first runner to come up. It's going to be Emma of Normandy in the club colours all black. Emma of Normandy goes in, silent power loaded, working on the work of life, goes into barrier 2. Taking hold of the work of life, 3 runners loaded, white flag goes up, all set, gates ping open, runners are sent on their way, and very slow into stride was Emma of Normandy. Missed a couple of beats there, and is going to have to play catch up to the rest of the field, who then ran up to the 1,000 meter marker with Silent Power and Nathan Klenk going up to lead the party. So it's Silent Power in the lead. From back in second, the work of life on Borrowdale debut, Kabelo Matsinyani on board, and then comes the slow starting Emma of Normandy, who hasn't done too badly and has come up to join the rest of the runners as they head now towards the junction of the 2 courses. 600 meters left to go, and it's Silent Power who leads them up with Nathan Klenk in second position. Racing on that one's inside in the white sleeves is the work of life, and then the duck jacket of Emma of Normandy, who's quickened up with 400 meters now to go as they begin to come down the straight, and quickening up is the work of life. The favorite here is beginning to pull away with Kabelo Matsinyani, and the work of life back in second, Emma of Normandy, but the work of life has put in a hefty lead into the final 100 meters, and it's going to be race over here. The favorite comes home, the work of life. From back in second, Emma of Normandy. Third will go to Silent Power, and that's how it'll finish in the opener here at Borrowdale. Favorite backers will be happy to note that number 1, the work of life, has come through. It looked like the one to beat on paper, but of course they do have to run, and number 1, the work of life, finishes first, and Kabelo Matsinyani gets his first winner chalked up on the board for this afternoon. The work of life doing the business in race 1. So that's it from the first race. Second is a progress plate over 1600 meters, and that's off at 12:35.
Well, they had the running of the first event here at Borrowdale Park. The maiden plate over 1260 meters and won by number 1, the Work of Life, Kabila Matsini for Amy Paham. Well done to you, Mike. We expected this one to be in the winner's box, and duly obliged.
Yeah, she's a lovely horse. I've only had her 2 weeks. She came from Royal Magna, and thanks to Rich Moore for letting us bring her here. She's going to give us a lot of fun. She match it for the last month as well. So thanks to Paul and Sarah for working her for me. And she settled down well. She was quite relaxed in the parade ring. She's cruised through to the finish line. So I really look forward to having a bit of fun with her.
Obviously, with the taking out of the 3 Jump to Red, made things easier for you there.
What about Jump the Red?
I said with the taking out of Jump the Red, made things easier for the 1 Work of Life.
Yeah, they were terrified. Jump the Red was terrified. So it was easy for her, but at least she's broken her maiden now and she can move on.
Okay, can you take us through the rest of your run?
Next race is I've got Forgotten Time, but the jockey's a bit nervous to ride him, so I think he'll be out. But he would have had a good chance around the bend. Then Nandine, hopefully she's come on from that. It was a big ask for her to go 1700 after a long break. But she's well, so I'm hoping 1450 she'll deliver. And walking through times in that race as well. So hopefully walking through time will keep her honest. And then I've got My Secret Place. She likes distance. She would prefer further. But she should give a good account of herself over the 1800. And then Holy Land. He's always a big runner. So, I'm told he can't go over 2000. Let's see.
Pick up the lot. Which one would you from those?
The Work of Life.
Well done to you. Nice to get the day off with a winning.
Thanks so much to Rich Moore again. If he's got any more, I'm ready and waiting. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, cool. That's Mike there representing the Amy Paham yard, who's runner number 1. The Work of Life has come through to win the first race here at Borrowdale Park. Second up, the second race is the Progress Plate over 1600 meters, and that's off at 12:35.
Race 2 on today's program is a progress plate to be run over 1,600 meters. We have one late scratching, horse number 5, Forgotten Time. A late scratching in race 2, horse number 5, Forgotten Time, no jockey available. So please scratch horse number 5, Forgotten Time. You're entitled to a full refund, and obviously there'll be a betting deduction on the remaining 4 runners. So progress plate to be run over 1,600 meters. Horse number 1, Red Top, the Mount of Jeffrey Seister. Number 2, Aerial Display to be ridden by Caden Brewer. Number 3, Captive Moon, Morgan Yamagwete. And number 4, Duchess of War, the Mount of Nathan Klink. So the runners have made their way into the parading for the running of race 2. Off time 12:35. Approximately 15 minutes to the off of race number 2. And welcome to Ngoni Nguzura, I think that's correctly, Nguzura, returning back to the commentary box. Did a sterling job in race 1, and be good to have Ngoni back in the commentary box full time. So just the 4 horses to go round in race number 2. Winner of race 1 was horse number 1, The Work of Life, having its racecourse debut here in Zimbabwe. Originally from Zimbabwe, went to South Africa, come back, and well done to the new connections. That's Michael Mallet and his partners. Cabello Matsinyani also returning back to Zimbabwe, and as we all witnessed, Cabello riding exceptionally well in South Africa, winner of the Durban July, and more recently the Dingons and the SA Classic Grade 1 event. So really big thumbs up to Cabello Matsinyani. He's really doing his family proud and himself, and onwards and upwards for young Cabello. So The Work of Life, an easy winner. Second place was stable companion number 2, Emma of Normandy. Third went to number 4, Silent Power. And there was one scratching, number 3, Jump to Red. So it's all clear to pay on numbers 1, 3, and 1, 2, and 4. That is for race number 1. A nice competitive lineup for race number 2. The favorite is horse number 2, Aerial Display. Receiving all the market support, has been backed into outright favorite. The Mount of Caden Brewer for Thomas Mason. And the Royal Flush Syndicate more recently had their first winner. I think it was Cutback, if I'm not mistaken. So onwards and upwards to that syndicate. Like I say, one scratching was number 5, Forgotten Time, but an interesting looking race. Just the 4 runners to go round for race number 2. So the runner is about to leave the parading. Once again, a late scratching of horse number 5, Forgotten Time, leaving us with 4 runners. Horse number 1, Red Top, racing the colours of Paul Gorringe and his partners Jeffrey Seister. On board for Deborah Swanson. Number 2, Aerial Display. That's the Royal Flush Syndicate. Nominee Gary de Jong, that is. Caden Brewer for Thomas Mason. Number 3, Captive Moon for Robin McLeod, Gavin McLeod and Morgan Yamagwete. And number 4, Duchess of War. That's the General Fix-It Syndicate nominee Kirsty Steidoff. Nathan Klink for Bridget Steidoff. Runners out on the main course, headed out by number 1, Red Top. Not parading is horse number 2, Aerial Display. Next to come out, number 3, Captive Moon, followed out by number 4, Duchess of War. So those 3 runners on their way to the start. Only horse parading in front of the grandstand is horse number 1, Red Top. The other 3 runners on their way down to the start. And we'll hand over to Ngoni for his preview for the running of race number 2 here at Borrowdale Park. On the Breeders' Cup race day, that's race number 6, a listed event, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, going off at 5 to 3 over 2,000 meters.
Race 2 on the program is a progress plate over 1600 meters, and off time for that is 12:35. Take note of the scratching of horse number 5, Forgotten Time. No available jockey to ride the 5, Forgotten Time, so that's going to be out, leaving us with 4 runners. Number 1, Red Top, is the mount of Jeff's sister for Deborah Swanson. Pretty good form line from the 1, Red Top, and has been showing promise, and I think on collateral form should be there and thereabouts. I think should finish 2nd or 3rd if traveling well. And the 2 is Aerial Display with Caden Brewer for Thomas Mason. Showed some huge improvement last time out, finishing just 6 lengths off Buster Barnes, who, as we know, is a pretty competitive campaigner. So I think that should be one for the notebook, the 2 Aerial Display. Favorite is a 3rd, Captive Moon, Morgan Yamagwete for Gavin McLeod. And on the form line shown, you can see why the 5-year-old Flower Alley Gelding is favorite this afternoon, trading at 28-10. And I think Morgan Yamagwete should have a good chance out this afternoon. Last but not least is the 4, Duchess of War, Nathan Klink for Bridget Steidoff. Has finished 3rd a couple of times, and I think on that form line should be there and thereabouts again this afternoon. My selections, I'm going against the favorite. I think that 2, Aerial Display, Caden Brewer, should be doing enough to win this progress plate on form line shown, especially after that Buster Barnes outing. And I think the 2, Aerial Display, should beat the 3, Captive Moon from the 4, Duchess of War, 1, Red Top. So those are my selections. Scratch the 5, Forgotten Time. Off time for race 2 is 12:35.
So the lights on the starting stalls are beginning to flash and the front gates have been closed in preparation to load the remaining 4 runners for race number 2. The handlers are working on Duchess of War, just trying to lead her in. Jockey Nathan Klink is in the starting stall machine and he'll be reunited with Duchess of War as she goes in just to close the back gate. The remaining runners coming forward, they're working on Red Top. Red Top to go for a number of these horses getting really warm down at the start. It's a really sticky, hot day here in Zimbabwe, so a lot of horses will be sweating up quite a lot on their way to the start. Captive Moon, one of those who normally sweats up together with Aerial Display. Aerial Display to come into stall gate number 1. Just to close the back gate on Aerial Display. Caden Brewer on board. Handlers out the way. 1600 meters to run. Race 2. White flag raised. And now, where they go. They broke in a nice line. Quick into stride with the benefit of the one draw is the favourite Aerial Display who picks up the running from back in second there. We've got moving up on the far side Red Top. In between runners we find Captive Moon, Duchess of War at the back of the field, but only 2.5 lengths off them. So it's Aerial Display with that big action, goes out to lead by a length from back in second, Red Top. Captive Moon's taken a bit of a hold. Morgan Yamagwete is trying to get him to switch off back in third. Then we find Duchess of War, but only 2.5 to 3 lengths completes the field as they make their way to the 1,000-meter mark. So with his ears pricked, Aerial Display is enjoying the front running with Caden Brewer, leads by half a length. Back in second, Red Top. Buried away on the fence is Captive Moon together with Duchess of War in the 1-1 position. They're going to turn right-handed shortly here with about 600 meters to run in the second race. The Progress Plate and Aerial Display out to make every post the winning one. Leads by a length and a half. Second place belongs to Red Top. Captive Moon will go for a rails run and Duchess of War's made her way to the middle of the course. It's Aerial Display with that big action now. It's trying to run the finish out of the opposition. Leads by 2. Back in second we've got Duchess of War. On the inside we find Captive Moon. Red Top's coming under ride. It's Aerial Display. Back in second, Duchess of Moon. Aerial Display from Duchess of Moon. Captive Moon's gone out the back door, and it's Aerial Display from Duchess of War. Aerial Display from Duchess of War, but Aerial Display is going to go out and run out a comfortable winner. Second place will go to Duchess of War. A long way back in third, Captive Moon, and last place will go to Red Top. Well, this always looked the right race for Aerial Display. And she'll go from start to finish, the son of Pathfork for the Royal Flush Syndicate. Duchess of War tried all she could, but Aerial Display just had too much firepower over the last stages here and will run out a comfortable winner, was thrown in at the weights off its merit rating, so didn't look to have any problems on paper, and that's the way it turned out to be. Well done to the Royal Flush Syndicate on their second winner, quick succession from their first one. Thomas Mason, the conditioner, Caden Brewer, the jockey. Unofficially second will go to number 4, Duchess of War. Third will go to Captive Moon, and fourth to Red Top. So we'll just wait for the judges' result from the commentary box. It should be 2, 4, 3 and 1. Aerial Display, Duchess of War, Captive Moon and Red Top.
There we had the running of the second race here at Borrowdale Park, the Progress Plate, 1600 meters, and won by horse number 4, horse number 2, aerial display, Caden for Thomas Mason. Let's talk to Tom and Thomas. Well done to you for first of the afternoon. And in my preview earlier, I thought this too would beat Captive Moon, and the 4-year-old gelding Julie went into that.
Yeah, he's been slowly getting into his best. I mean, he came from sea level, taking a long time to acclimatise and get him into himself. And just the last 2 weeks, he suddenly just started to turn. I could see he's suddenly put on some more condition. He's got himself stronger. So, you know, I said to the guys, I think he's finally got used to the climate now. You know, from sea level to high altitude takes a bit of time. And he's finally now going to look like a horse. He's a big horse, a rolling horse. And he takes a hard ride. Like Caden said to me, you know, he has to ride him, but he kept finding. So it's an encouraging start. You know, we're slowly building on him. And we'll build step by step and see how we go. And won a good race today. And we'll carry on right races for him, get his confidence going, and try and go a bit further with him. But good ride from Caden. Well done to the Royal Flush Syndicate, who's run away. I thought he was going to come and say a few words, but good win from them. They took a chance and bought this horse on my recommendation. I said we'll have fun with him, and I hope so far we are going to have fun. And it's a nice new syndicate, and they're having some nice winners.
Well done to you. Can you talk through the rest of the runners that you have in their chances?
I've got one coming up, and then not this race, the following race got cut back. Won a good race last time for the same people. It's Royal Flush Syndicate. She's very well, a little bit stronger than last time, but I think she'll go very close. And then Action Zone in the 5th race wasn't the race he was going to go for. He was thrown in the last minute to try and keep the race meeting going because we couldn't find enough horses. So he's come out the paddock basically to run this race. So obviously he's a class horse, but he's not 100% tuned for this race. And if he wins, he wins.
Well, you and all the best runners.
Thank you very much.
Thomas Mason there, the conditioner for the 2 aerial displays. Second, 4 touches. Captive Moon, and 4th to number 1, Red Top. Next up is race 3, and that's the Mary Traded 76 handicap over 1450. Half time is 1.
So we now have the all clear result for race 2, the progress plate. First place went to horse number 2, Aerial Display. Second to number 4, Duchess of War. Third to number 3, Captain Moon. Fourth to number 1, Red Top. There was one scratching, number 5, Forgotten Time. It's all clear to pair numbers 2, 4, 3 and 1. Race 3 on today's program is a merit rate of 76 handicap to be run over 1450. And we have 4 runners to make their way down to the 1,450 meter mark, which is across to the right hand side of the back straight here at Borrowdale Park. Horse number 1, Nandi in the mount of Cabello Mazziniani. Number 2 is Star Aglow, Jeffrey Seister. Number 3, Ian's Ferrari, Nathan Klink. And number 4, Walking Through Time, Caden Brewer. So those are your 4 fillies and mares. Fillies and mares handicap to come out on parade and make their way down to the 1,450 meter mark. Like I say, a blistering hot day now, slight breeze, might just get the temperatures to come down a notch or two. But on parade is Nandine in the colours of the Brumby Syndicate, nominee Grant Littleford, as well as their partner Genghis Coxel, and Cabello Mazziniani on board, trying to make it a quick double for the yard of Amy Parham. Next to come out on parade is Ian's Ferrari, and the colours of Ryan Sherwood and his partners. Nathan Klink on board for Bridges Steidoff. Number 4, Walking Through Time for Grant Littleford, Spencer Murray and Paul Rugg. Amy Parham and Caden Brewer on board, and number 2, Star Aglow and Jeffrey Seister for Edith Tafuma. Going down to the start is the favourite horse number 1, Nandine and Cabello Mazziniani. Next to go down, Stable Companion, Walking Through Time, Caden Brewer. Number 3 is Ian's Ferrari and Nathan Klink, and with the lead pony, horse number 2, Star Aglow and Jeffrey Seister. So those are your 4 runners. Off time 1:10. So we got about 8 or 9 minutes to the off time of race number 3.
Race 3 is a merit rate of 76 handicap for fillies and mares over 1450 meters, and we've got 4 runners going through the motions for the third. Jackpot first leg, Pixie Clicks 3, and number 1 is Nandine, Cabello Mazziniani for Amy Parham, and Nandine has shown a bit of promise in last few outings, and except for the very last one when she finished 4th in a 1700 meter of a regulate, 4.5 lengths of a regulate. But speaking to Mike earlier, he had high hopes for the 4-year-old part for the filly, and I think she should be in the mix again today and cancel that last outing and give her another chance this afternoon. 2 is Star Aglow, Jeff's sister, rides for Deb Swanson, who's yet to get off the mark today, and she's been thereabouts, this 5-year-old mare, and will need to press harder for a better result this afternoon. The 3 is Ian's Ferrari, Nathan Klink for Bridget Steidoff, and this 5-year-old Wiley mare who won last time out in an 1800 meter event, bidding cutback by 0.5 lengths, and so should be in the mix again, should be the one to contend with Nandine for the win this afternoon. Last but not least is the 4 Walking Through Time, Caden Brewer rides for Amy Parham, and outside place chances on current returns has been finishing 4th quite consistently, and I don't expect much change this afternoon. So it's going to be between the 1 and the 3 Ian's Ferrari and Nandine. And on prior Formula 1, I'm just going for Nandine this afternoon. I think she's shown good promise in prior runs, except for that fourth place finish, and I think she should recover here and post a better outing. So Nandine from the 3, Ian's Ferrari, and the 2, Storaglow, and the 4, Walking Through Time. Half time, 1:10.
So the 4 horses down at the 1,450 meter mark getting reunited with their respective jockeys, and the front gates will be closed shortly, and the loading procedure will start to commence for race number 3 halfway through today's program, MR76 for fillies and mares. Interesting little race. Obviously it's pretty good that the fillies and mares get a chance to race amongst themselves. And just the 4 horses, so that should give us a nice, clean, safe race. And they'll be coming forward now as the front gates close and the lights on the starting stalls begin to flash. So the handlers now taking the runners into hand will start to bring them forward. They're working on walking through time, stable companion to the favourite. Four-year-old filly by JPEG out of Walking on the Moon, and just needs to be on her best behaviour. Just a little bit warm, But like I say, a couple of these horses on today's card will get a little bit sweated up on their way down to the start. So they're just ringing the runners here. They're going to start bringing them forward shortly, working on Nandine in the green and orange silks of the Brandy Syndicate. So she goes in. The remaining runners to come forward, just getting the tape out. I'm pretty sure that could be walking through time. Jockey Brewer off the runner now. He'll be waiting in the starting stall machine as they try to get it to go forward. Star Aglow and Ian's Ferrari will be waited with. So in the meantime, Ian's Ferrari to come forward in the red and yellow silks of Ryan Sherwood. Nathan Klink on board, winner of the last start over 1800, so she did exceptionally well to get home over 1800. This is more her trip. Look to her to be near the front end. Star Aglow goes in, so we're just waiting on Walking Through Time. Walking Through Time needs to get her act together. The three remaining runners loaded. Walking Through Time coming forward now. And is trying to get her to straighten up with the long tapes. Jockey Brewer in the starting stall machine to just get back on board, Walking Through Time. And they're just in there to assist. So it looks like we just got to get the jockey reunited with the filly. All set, handlers out the way, and away they go. Well done to the team there. And well done to the runners, they came out as one. So quick into stride, we've got Star Aglow together with Ian's Ferrari. A nice pace being set up there, dropping back a length or so. We find Nandine and Walking Through Time's been taken to the back of the field, but only 3 lengths to cover the whole field. So it's Star Aglow and Jeffrey Seister on board, trying to make every poster winning one leads by a length. From back in second, Ian's Ferrari. She likes to be on the speed and she'll be happy with the speed. Third place belongs to Nandine and stable companion Walking Through Time, but they only about 2.5 lengths off them. So can Jeffrey Seister get Star Aglow back in the winner's box? She leads by a length. Second place belongs to Ian's Ferrari. Nandine's been put away on the inside there, just 1.5 lengths to go, and Walking Through Time will wait for the home straight. They're going to swing right-handed. You can throw a blanket over the 4 fillies, and it's Star Aglow that leads. Back in second, Ian's Ferrari. Nandine's been given a clear run up the inside. Walking Through Time's coming to the middle of the course. It's Star Aglow, Ian's Ferrari, Walking Through Time, and Nandine. Nothing covers the 4 fillies as they approach the 300-meter mark. Nandine on the inside, Ian's Ferrari, and Walking Through Time starting to come forward strongly on the stand side rail. It's now Ian's Ferrari and Walking Through Time. Nandine's battling with that weight. Ian's Ferrari, she's very brave. Ian's Ferrari's going to hold out. Back in second, Walking Through Time. Third will go to Star Aglow, and fourth will go to Nandine. And another good win here for Ian's Ferrari and the syndicate, Ryan Sherwood and his partners, Bridges Stidolf and Nathan Klink. Well, she's a difficult madam to get past, is Ian's Ferrari, and like I said, with Star Aglow going up there, she had a lot of company and she thoroughly enjoyed that, and Walking Through Time did all that she could to get the better of Ian's Ferrari, but Ian's Ferrari dug deep. A winner of her last start. She's obviously brimming with confidence, just like her trainer Bridget Stidolf, and that'll be another winner for Bridget. She's been in a good vein of form. Second will go to Walking Through Time. Third will go to Star Aglow, and fourth will go to Nandine. So unofficially from the commentator's box, just the 4 horses, but an exciting finish there. 3, 4, 2, and 1.
At the running of race 3, measured at 1450. And the 3 Ian's Ferrari with Nathan Klein coming through to win for Bridget's start off. Bridget, well done for your first of the afternoon. Nice way to get off the mark. And Ian's Ferrari, I thought, would be in the mix with Nadine, but the 3 came through nicely to win there.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Ngoni. Look, I mean, obviously very, very well done and well ridden to Nathan. You know, he couldn't quite get her to the front, but he got her to settle eventually really nicely. Got her positioned well, and when she came into straight and you asked him, she quickened very nicely and just sort of held on, which was obviously which is what we wanted. You know, she's won 2 now in a row. She's got a lot of confidence again. Sort of as she's getting older, she's maturing, and you know, she's a lovely filly. She's not the easiest of horses, but very, very nice. So obviously, a very big thank you and well done to Nathan, and well done and thank you to the owners. You know, fantastic to have Gary and Ashley on course. So well done to them.
Well done to you. Halfway through the card, what can you give us for the balance of the remaining races?
Look, the rest of the card's a little bit tough. Obviously, you've got Coffeeberry and Obscure in the next race. Look, on paper, they should be able to do well, but, you know, Obscure is quite a difficult filly. She has been coming, you know, she's slowly getting back to where she was. She came off after came back from an injury, so it's taken us a long time to get her right and try and get her to settle. Tradition, he's an honest little horse. He always tries his hardest. And then going into the big race, you know, obviously we've got Citrus Star and Wantage. It's a very hard race. I think that's an incredibly open race, so I can't really say who's going to win there, but yeah, obviously all the best to everyone.
Well done to you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's talk to the connections, Gary. Well done to you. Nice to get off the mark with Ian's and good win here.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's actually the second race I won. I should have made a speech earlier on, but great stuff. Ian Ferrari, super horse. I think it's won 9 races now. And she just keeps going on. So Ryan, that's his colours, so I'm sure he's enjoying this in Cape Town. But thank you very much to Bridget. Thank you to Nathan. Great days racing, and we look forward to a few more wins. Thank you.
Well done to you. Winning connections there of the 3 Ian's Ferrari. Second went to horse number 4, that's Walking Through Time. Third to the 2 Staraglow, and fourth to horse number 1, Nandine. Next up then is race 4. And that's Marriott rated 76, handicap over 1800 meters. Of time is 13:45.
So just a quick early runner going out. I think that's horse number 2, Obscure. Obscure, the mount of Nathan Klink. Balance of the field will be coming on shortly for the running of race number 4. So just recapping on race number 3, the full and official result. First place went to horse number 3, Ian's Ferrari. Second to number 4, Walking Through Time. Third to number 2, Star Aglow. And fourth to number 1, Nandine. All clear to pay on numbers 3, 4, 2 and 1. Race 4 in today's program, a MR76 handicap. Also fillies and mares, so back-to-back fillies and mares races. And they're coming out on parade, the balance of the field. Horse number 1, Coffee Berry, the mount of Morgan Yamagwete. Number 3, Zazu, Jeffrey Seister. Number 4, Cutback, and Caden Brewer. And number 5, My Secret Place, and Cabello Matsanyani. This race ran over 1800 meters. The previous fillies and mares was a 1450. So turning to go down, that's Coffee Berry, carrying the top weight of 60 kilos for Bridges Stidolf and Mick Rambo. Zazu racing for Willem Nell and his partners. Great to have Willem on course, supporting racing today here at Borrowdale Park. Jeffrey Seister on board. Turning to go down, number 4, Cutback, Caden Brewer, and completing the lineup, the favourite number 5, My Secret Place, the mount of Cabello Matsanyani. So those are your 5 runners on their way down to the 1,800 metre mark. A nice competitive lineup of fillies and mares. So down at the 1,800 meter mark, the running gates have been shut and these runners are coming forward for this fillies and mares 76 handicap. And we have a full field of 5 runners, our biggest field this afternoon. So they're working on My Secret Place goes in. Coffeeberry, Cutback, Zazu and Obscure to complete the lineup. So just the 2 runners loaded, My Secret Place and Coffeeberry, working on Cutback. Looking to give the Royal Flush Syndicate a double on the day. Caden Brewer for Thomas Mason. Obscure to come forward. Nathan Klink for the General Fix-It Syndicate. And Zazu to complete the lineup. Obscure goes in. Handlers turn their attention to Zazu. Halfway in. To close the back gate on Zazu. Handlers out the way, all set, white flag raised. And away they go. What a great break there. They came out as one. Zazu, quick to make up the running together with My Secret Place back in second. We drop her half a length back to Obscure, another length and a half back to Cutback. And Coffeeberry's been taken to the back of the field, some 6 lengths off them. So Zazu out to make every poster. Winning one leads by 2 from back in second. Obscure's taking a bit of a hold, goes into a clear second. Cabello Matsanyani is very happy on My Secret Place in third. On his outside we find Cutback, and at the back of the field Coffeeberry will be enjoying this pace being set by Zazu. So Zazu stays really well, goes more than 1800 meters, and Jeffrey Seister trying to test the field and make them stretch, leads by 4. Back in second is Obscure. We drop a length back to Cutback. My Secret Place just been held together, not ready to go yet, and Coffeeberry just making up a bit of ground. It's out in front. Zazu now, he gets a bit of a breather as Obscure narrows it down to a length. Cutback's been creeping closer. My Secret Place and Coffeeberry got 6 to go. They swing right-handed with 600 to go in the fillies and mares 76 handicap, and out in front Zazu looks a sitting duck. Obscure now picks up the running down the middle of the course. We've got Cutback with Coffeeberry. My Secret Place goes for a rails run. It's Obscure from back in second. Cutback. My Secret Place is trying to find a finish, but Obscure's got a healthy lead, and the track is running pretty fast. Back in second, My Secret Place, but it's Obscure for the General Fix-It Syndicate and Nathan Klink, and Obscure's going to run them ragged. My Secret Place tries all she can, but she's not going to get to Obscure. That's another double for Bridget Steidoff and Nathan Klink. Second will go to My Secret Place. Third will go to Cutback. Fourth will go to Coffeeberry, and Zazu at the tail end. So, like I said, Steidoff racing in good form at the moment, and General Fix-It Syndicate Obscure will run out a very comfortable winner of race number 4. Second will go to My Secret Place. She tried really hard, but just couldn't get back the deficit there. And Obscure will hold out to win a really, really good race. She's back to her best, and a 6-year-old chestnut mare for the General Fix-It Syndicate nominee Kirsty Steidoff will run out a comfortable winner. Second will go to My Secret Place. No disgrace in second. A long way back to the third place Cutback, Coffeeberry, and Zazu.
That was the running of race 4, measured at 76 handicap. Fillies and mares over 1800 meters, won by the 2 Obscure. Bridget, you for second of the afternoon and a good win by Obscure there.
Yeah, no, thanks, Ngoni. Look, obviously very well done, Nathan. You know, he rode it well. He sort of kept Zazu in view. You know, he didn't let her get away too much, which was nice. Obviously, they came back. He gave her a little breather coming downhill, and then he asked her a little bit, you know, early, which she got those few lengths in front, which was really good. Yeah, she was tiring a bit at the end, but obviously very big thank you and well done to Nathan. Very big thank you to the team at home, obviously, especially Munya, who's her groom. He rides her all the time at home. She's not the easiest of fillies, so very big thank you and well done to him. And obviously well done to the girls. You know, fantastic to have them here on course. Kirsty's here, Susie, so well done to them, and well done to everyone who's not here.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done to you, Kirsty. And a good way to get off the mark. Have you had any runners today?
We had Duchess, who came second in a previous race, which was a nice race. But yeah, really nice to see Obscure doing well again. She has been off, as Bridget said, for almost a year and a half, if not with an injury. So it's lovely to see her back. And yeah, thanks to the girls for their patience and listening to Bridget. Horse, as everyone said, thanks to Munya and the team, and very well ridden by Nathan.
Well done to you.
Thank you.
That's the connections of the 2 Obscure there, who's come through to win race 4, and second has gone to the 5, My Secret Place, third to the 4, Cutback, and fourth to the 1, Coffeeberry. Next up is race 5. It's a MR90 handicap, and it's over 1600 meters, half time 20 past 2.
So the so the horses are coming out on parade for the running of race number 5, a MR90 handicap. Number 2, raining again, the Mount of Cabela Matsinyani for Gavin McLeod, followed out by number 3, Action Zone, Caden Brewer for Thomas Mason. Going down is number 1, Bugatti Blue, Jeffrey Seister for Deborah Swanson. And number 4, Tradition, Nathan Klink for Bridges Styroff. They all clear result for race 4. First place went was number 2, Obscure. Second to number 5, My Secret Place. Third to number 4, Cutback. Fourth to number 3, Zazu. All clear to play on numbers 2, 5, 4, 3. 2, 5, 4, 3. Turning to go down is Raining Again and Cabela Matsinyani. Action Zone, Caden Brewer. And Tradition with Nathan Klink. Tradition goes in, raining again. Handlers out the way, all set, 1,600 meters to go, and away they go. Bugatti Blue and raining again, jumped out smartly and go off to immediate lead. Back in third, we've got Tradition, and on the far side there is Action Zone. So it's raining again now. Bugatti Blue is happy to let raining again go on, and Action Zone taking closer order. They drop back there to find at the back of the field Tradition. So the speed's been on today, and the front runners have kept rolling at Borrowdale Park, and raining again. Leads from back in second, Action Zone. We drop a length back to Bugatti Blue. He'll be loving this because normally he does all the donkey work. And back in fourth is Tradition, but he's closely in touch here with only 2.5 lengths to find. So Cabello Mazziniani on board, raining again for Gavin McLeod, stretching his neck, leads by a length. Back in second is Action Zone. Bugatti Blue's been given a pearl override. Back in third, and at the back of the field, Tradition will wait for one last crack at these leaders. They're going to swing right-handed, and raining again, likes to lead. Back in second is Action Zone. Bugatti Blue, can he find a finish with 60 kilos, and Tradition at the back of the field. Cabello lets raining again slide a bit, but Action Zone's quick on his case, goes up to join him. Back in third, we've got Bugatti Blue, and at the back of that is Tradition. It's raining again and Action Zone. Raining again and Action Zone. It's Brewer against Cabello Mazziniani. Tradition's trying to find a finish, but Action Zone now strikes for gold here at Borrowdale Park, and that's going to be Caden Brewer in the winner's box here. Second place, running on strongly, is Tradition. Third will go to Bugatti Blue, and fourth will go to Raining Again. Well, Action Zone, terribly disappointing at the last meeting, got himself in a bad pocket, and Caden Brewer took no chances today. He had him out in the open, unlike his last start when just trapped behind Regulate, and a good ride here by a young Brewer. He'll attack Rainy again early in the straight, and Action Zone onwards and upwards for the son of Canford Cliffs. I think he's on to bigger and better things here at Borrowdale Park. Second place will go to Tradition, third will go to Bugatti Blue, and fourth will go to Rainy again. So from the commentator's box, the numbers you're going to need are 3, 4, 1 and 2.
That was the running of race 5, merit rated 90 handicap, over 1600 meters, and horse number 3, Action Zone, with Caden Brewer for Thomas Mason coming through to win the penultimate event of this afternoon's program. Let's talk to Tom. Well done to you, Tom. When we spoke to you earlier, you said you just threw this one in to keep the fields open, and worked out in the end.
It did actually. Surprisingly, look, he's a nice horse. Don't get me wrong. He's probably my best horse in the yard, and he's got a lot of ability. He's quirky, and Caden's slowly getting to know how to ride him and get to know the bottom of him. But yeah, I do look after him. He does take his racing very hard. So he ran last meeting, ran a cracking second, and so I thought I'd give him a good 10-day or 2 weeks in the paddock was my plan. So Tuesday afternoon, he was saying, okay, well, Wednesday morning back to track. Didn't do much for them. Like I said, he wasn't really prepped for this race, but he showed his class. He's won a good race, and I'm very tough for Craig Dankwitz, a good supporter of mine for the yard. And this horse is now a 5-time winner. We're really chuffed to have this horse, and we'll work on him to where we go for his next start. We're debating where we're going to go, but he's a nice horse, and well done to Caden. Good ride.
Well done to you.
Thank you.
That's the winning trainer there, Thomas Mason, for the 3 Action Zone, with Caden Brewer coming through to win race. Next up is the British Champions Cup feature event on this afternoon's program. It's over 2,000 meters, and we'll be seeing which of the 4 will come through to win the feature event here. There's number 1 Holy Land, 2 Wantage, 3 Citrusdale, and 4 Dindingwe. Half time for that is 14:55.
Now I have the all clear result for race 5. First place went to horse number 3, Action Zone. Second to number 4, Tradition. Third to number 1, Bugatti Blue. And fourth to number 2, Rainy again. And race 5 is all clear to play on numbers 3, 4, 1 and 2. Race 6 on today's program is the feature race, the Breeders' Champion Cup listed event to be run over 2,000 meters, and we have a full field of 4 runners to make their way down to the start. Horse number 1 is Holy Land, the mount of Cabello Mazzignani for Amy Parham, racing in the colours of Genghis Goxel and his partners. Holy Land, a winner of 10 of his 43 starts with 18 places. And what a fantastic servant he's been to his connections. He's now 8 years old, the son of Ideal World, carrying 60 kilos. Number 2 is Wantage. Wantage to be ridden today by Caden Brewer, a winner of 10 of his 52 starts. Races in the colours of Reese Dyer and his partners. And this is a 7-year-old son of Atto with 56 kilos. The conditioner is Bridges Steidoff. Horse number 3 is Citrus Doll, stable companion to Wantage. Also a 7-year-old son of Duke of Marmalade, a winner of 12 of his 51 starts in 20 places. Nathan Klink retains the ride. He's ridden him in his last 2 starts. As Nathan having a good day at the races today is Nathan Klink for Bridges Steidoff. And Citrus Doll racing in the colours of Ash Dixon and his partners. That's the white, orange with the white Maltese cross sleeves and cap. And completing the lineup is the only female in the lineup. That's the 6-year-old Futura mare. That's Didingwe. Racing the colours of Chris Shepherd and his partners. Jeffrey Seister on board for Deborah Swanson. A winner of 10 of her 27 starts with 8 places and carrying 53.5 kilos. So at the bottom of the weights, the only female lineup in today's Breeders' Champions Cup. That's horse number 4, Didingwe. So the runners just parading there, down in the parading, and they'll be getting reunited with their respective jockeys and will be out on the main course. Off time for the feature event is 14:55, so we got approximately 9 minutes to go to the off of today's last and final event, and it's the big one, the Breeders' Champion Cup, a listed race to be run over 2,000 meters. So the runners and riders now preparing to leave the parade ring. Obviously interest in horse number 2, Wantage, a winner of the Breeders' Champion Cup last year. You'll see him on the cover of the race card. He'll be trying to make it back-to-back Breeders' Cup championships, and he's trainer in cracking good form at the moment. Bridges Steidoff, she started the season a bit quietly, but she's made up for lost time, and she holds a very strong hand here. Obviously the De Jongs represented in 3 of the 4 runners, namely Holy Land, Wantage and Citrus Doll. So Gary De Jong and Colleen have a very strong hand here, having 3 of the 4 horses representing the ownership with their partners. So out on parade is horse number 1, Holy Land, reunited with his old mate Cabello Mazzignani. Cabello knows him really well. He had ridden him for a couple of seasons a while back, and I'm sure Holy Land will be happy to have Cabello back on his back. Followed out by number 3, Citrus Doll and Nathan Klink. Stable companion, number 2, Wantage and Caden Brewer. Caden hot in form at Borrowdale Park. He's looking for his 3rd winner this afternoon. And completing the lineup will be Dingwe and Jeffrey Seister. Going down is horse number 1, Holy Land, followed down by Wantage. Next to go down will be Citrus Doll. And completing the lineup, the only mare in the race, that's horse number 4, Dindingwe. Back in our homeland and enjoying life here in Zimbabwe, and a fan of supporters out here. It's great to have Chris Shepherd and Kylie on course to watch their special girl going down to the start, and I'm sure the other connections will be represented on course as well. So we'll hand over to Ngoni for his preview for the big one, the Breeders' Champion Cup listed event. Off time 5:03.
Feature event on this afternoon's program is the Breeders' Champions Cup. Over 2,000 meters, long trip for the finale here at Borrowdale Park. Number 1 is Holy Land, Cavalier Matsignani for Amy Parham. Now, Holy Land has always been a big runner. We spoke to Mike Mella earlier on, and he alluded to him always being in the mix, and on the form line that he displays here, he should be a big contender. Finished third last time out, beaten by Jet Mirage by 0.75 lengths, and that's not a bad showing to bring into the Champions Cup, Breeders' Champions Cup this afternoon. So respect Holy Land on that form line. Also displays 2 wins before that, so that brings him certainly into the mix. 2 is Wantage Caden Brewer for Bridget Steinhoff. He's been thereabouts, 7-year-old Atta Gelding. He's getting on in age as well. And on the current form line displayed here, well, I think he'll get a place chance if at best. 3 on the card is Citrus Down. Nathan Klink rides for Bridget Steinhoff again, and she holds a strong hand in this encounter. And I think Citrus Down should be in the mix as well from that last run out in an MR95 2-2. Certainly can go the distance. Was beaten by Idea View with 6 lengths, finishing second. And even before that, actually beat Dindingwe over 2,000 in an MR90 as well. So that brings this 7-year-old Duke of Marmalade gelding strongly into contention in the Breeders' Champions Cup. So he's likely to be in the mix. Last but not least is the 4 Dindingwe Jeff's sister for Deborah Swanson, and 6-year-old Futura Mare. And this one has been around the block, and she knows what it's all about. MR90 2,000 last time out, just beaten by Citrus Dow by 3.5 lengths. She can turn that back around if she's in a good state this afternoon. So we'll wait and see how she rolls up this afternoon. My selections, I'm going for the 1 Holy Land to beat the 4 Dindingwe, from the 3 Citrus Dow and the 2 Wantage.
So down at the 2,000 meter mark, the 4 runners are about to come forward for the running of the 2024 Breeders' Champion Cup. handlers working on Didingwe. The other three runners just circling as they just wait on to Didingwe to come forward. Looks like they've put blindfold on Didingwe. Jeffrey Seister's just got off her now. So Didingwe is right up in the far corner against the running rail. And they've taken the blindfold off her, and hopefully she'll start moving, and she does that almost immediately. So just getting her to ring a little bit before they try to bring her up to the stalls. They haven't actually started to try and load her yet, so anxious moments for the supporters of Didingwe. Just backing away for now. Handlers just wanting to bundle her to go forward. Jockey Seister looks like he's coming back from the starting stall machine. He's getting back on board to Didingwe, so Jockey Seister's back on board now, so the other runner's just waiting. A big group of handlers around her now, so she's about 10 meters away from the starting stall machine and just backing away slightly. Blindfolds off, Didingwe just running forward now and turn sideways. So they've got her closer to the starting stall machine, but she backs away just as she approaches the machine. Big team of handlers now getting her as close as she's ever been now. Up to the starting stall machine. Heads in the gate. Halfway in. All the way in now. Just to close the back gate. Well done. Well done to the team there. Some anxious moments, like I say, but she's in, and that's the main thing. And these remaining runners will come forward now. So they're going to have to get Citrusdal to come forward, Wantage to come forward, and Holy Land. Starter William taking his position. And is out the way. Last runner in. White flag race, 2,000 meters to run in the Breeders' Champion Cup, and away they go. Didingwe is slightly slow into stride, but nothing too serious over this sort of ground. She'll make that up almost immediately as she rushes around them to pick up the lead and join in front there, Citrusdal. We drop a length back to Holy Land, and at the back of the field, that's Wantage. So Didingwe is moving along now, and she eventually gets to the top. So Didingwe leads by length. Back in second there, we've got Citrusdal. On the far side is Holy Land, and just tucked away at the back of the field is Wantage as with Didingwe comes back a stride or two. So Seister doesn't want it to go on with it just yet as he gets towards the 1400 meter mark, and he just steps it up a little bit. Holy Land is taken closer order. Citrusdal's back in third, and Wantage at the back of the field, but Caden Brewer's happy with him there. He's 4.5 lengths off them. So Didingwe is moving really well now. She picks her ears and she picks up the lead by 2 lengths. Back in second, we've got Citrus Doll. Holy Land's never been closer than today, and he's back in second. And Wantage is at the back of the field, but only 3.5 lengths off them. Can Didingwe keep the growling here at front? She still leads by a length. She's got the weight on her side. She's going to make the geldings carry their weight. She still leads by a length and a half. Back in second is Holy Land. Citrus Doll just got tightened up a little bit for room on the fence there. Then we find Wantage. He'll be weighted with. The homeward bound with 600 to go in the Breeders' Champion Cup 2024. Didingwe leads by a length and a half. Back in second, we've got Holy Land. He's got that big weight. Wantage comes to the middle of the course, and in behind that we find moving up is Citrus Doll. Is Didingwe with a 2.5 length lead from back in second. Wantage. Holy Land struggling with the top weight, but Didingwe's got a healthy lead. The only danger appears to be Wantage. Is Didingwe. Wantage is back in second. Didingwe with that 53.5. She's going to go from gun to tape eventually, and this is a welcome return back to the winner's enclosure for Didingwe. She'll come home smartly in the end. Second will go to Wantage. Third will go to Holy Land, and fourth will go to Citrus Doll. Well, Didingwe, like I say, the hardest part with her is just the pins, and thankfully for the connections and Deborah Swanson, they got her to load, and hopefully she'll come on for the benefit of this run. And a very good ride there by Jeffrey Seister. He just got the fractions right. He used the weight to his advantage, and she'll actually draw off in the closing stages for a comfortable win. Well weighted and well ridden. Well done to the winning connection. Second will go to Wantage. Third will go to Holy Land. Then a long way back in fourth will be Citrus Doll. So from the commentary box, the numbers you're going to need are 4, 2, 1 and 3.
I was running off the feature event on this afternoon's program, the Breeders' Champions Cup, over 2,000 meters. And Deborah, well done for the win. Haven't seen you all day today, and wish you somewhere matters the most.
Oh, I'm glad you missed me, Ngoni. I didn't think you'd see me much today. This was my only real chance in the races. At the weights with her fillies allowance, which put her in a good stead. The others all tried their best, but it wasn't. The races didn't suit them. So yeah, not a quiet day for the stable, but I'm glad the other yards have had a good day, and I'm glad we managed to keep the race meeting going. It's getting harder and harder. So well done to the other trainers for getting the race meeting together and having a good race day for our owners to come and enjoy. Getting back to Dindingwe, this filly is very, very special. The year I started training in my own right, she gave me the confidence to do so. She was a champion 2-year-old and won every race I put her in, and she's just been an absolute legend. And we've had our niggles, we've had our problems, and getting her to races is not as easy as it was. But she's done this beautifully today, and we've got one more plan in the wings for her, and I hope this run gave her the confidence that she needs to get through to that. Well done to Jeffrey, he rode it beautifully. I have to say thank you to Norvia and his starters team. She didn't make their job very easy, and they got her in, so well done to them. I'll have some scuds coming their way to say thank you for my appreciation, because they really did a top job getting her in today. So thank you guys. And obviously thank you to our owners for having the patience. They've always done what they believe is right for her, and we are very chuffed that she's managed to pull a Breeders' Couple for them. She's very deserved, and so are they. So well done to all of them, and thank you.
Well done to you, Deborah. Please stand by for the presentation. I'll talk to Jeff. Jeff, well done to you. You've had a good day today?
Yeah, it's been a long day. It's quite hot. But yeah, I'm really grateful to be here today, and I'd like to firstly thank Debbie for all the support and everything she's done for me this season, and we've been having a great run. Hopefully I can be back on the 22nd. We'll see. I don't want to make any predictions, but I'd also like to thank all the owners and to the whole team back home. They've done an incredible job on her. She's a difficult filly. Just all credits to them. I just did the last bit that put the last piece of the puzzle back together, and everything worked out in her favor, and she gave a good gallop. She did have a lightweight, but I think her confidence will just keep growing from here.
Well done to you.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk to Winning Connections to top it all off. Well done to you guys. Breeders' Champions Cup in the bag, and what a win to top it off.
Yeah, she's a very special filly for us. We've had a long journey with her, and she doesn't really want to go in the pens too much, as you saw, but all credit to the handlers and Debs and her team for doing a fantastic job there. At one stage we thought she wasn't going to load, but yeah, and Jeffrey had a good race there. I mean, he rode it very well, got to the front after a poor start, and she just didn't give up. So great, thanks to Debs, thanks to everyone in the yard, and obviously to our team. There's a big team that own this filly. We've all persevered, and we've all stuck with it. So well done to them too, and we've had a great time with her. Thank you very much.
Lovely, well done to you guys. You can go ahead and receive the trophy for the Breeders' Champions Cup.
Sorry, I'd just like to special thanks to Kirsty Chambers, who works on Dindingwe. For us, with a daughter who's a physio, it's a very, very big part of horse racing. Sean's mentioned everyone else, and big thanks to the chairman and vice chairman of the board, and Adrian and all the guys that work behind the scenes at this magnificent institution. Thank you very much.
Well done to you guys. Those are the winners of the Breeders' Champions Cup over 2,000 meters, 2024 edition, and it has gone to horse number 4, Dindingwe. Second has gone to 2, Wantage. Third to the 1, Holy Land, and fourth to the 3, Citrus Dow.